Hi, my name is Eleni, and this video is about symbols and the dream world. A few years ago, I had this incredible series of dreams about symbols. Now, that wasn't a huge surprise for me because at the time I was learning how to work with symbols in the waking world. I was working with symbols to help develop a template for a course that I was creating. And I was learning and stretching and growing and as I was doing it, because that was my first time of really so actively co-creating and collaborating with symbols. And I would love to share more of that, and that will be for another video. But this video is about the dreams that were showing up for me at that point in time. And let me just dive into the dreams. So there were two big dreams. I mean, there were a number of dreams that where symbols were showing up, but there were two big dreams that still I can remember like every frame of that dream to this day. One of the dreams was happening at what felt like the UN. I had a lot of visuals. There's a really big concrete building. There were, I was sitting at a small table of people where I was having a meeting. And during the dream, I was trying to figure out like who I was, what I was representing. There were a number of different organizations that were being represented there, or maybe they were different branches from the UN, I'm not sure. And there's one person who was facilitating the meeting. The meeting was happening in French. I do not speak French. And they were kind of going around the table asking for everybody's input. And so I was trying to figure out like, who am I representing? What do I have to contribute here? It was, the topic was policy around gender and integrating gender equality, basically. And the person that was facilitating it had this huge stack of papers in front of him that went through like the policies that we were talking about, and people were giving feedback on how to improve or change the policies. So as I was listening and also thinking, how am I going to contribute my shares when I don't speak in French? What are these people saying? Who am I? I was like looking at the building, trying to look at myself. Who am I? What organization? And then all of a sudden I saw this big stack of papers kind of transform into an energetic form, basically, into a symbol. And what I saw was, the papers were still on the table, but I saw that the papers, there was this energetic symbol or energetic structure that these policies had created. And what everyone was saying going around the table was just being fed into the same structure. And so no matter what changes we were suggesting, it actually wasn't going to make any sort of impact because it was getting fed into the same energetic structure and was going to have the same outcome that we currently have. And I saw that so clearly. And so for me, after I woke up, it was my big takeaway was that although I know, but I really saw it, that everything has like an energetic structure and an energetic imprint. But I really saw that if we're creating change, that we have to also pay attention to changing the energetic structures so that there is a new place for the change to run through so we can have different outcomes. So that was my big takeaway from that dream. And then the other dream I had was really incredible. And it was this dream that I was working on. I was some sort of architect with a team. And we were on a floor of this building. There were like no windows. We were all working on the floor, like on these drafting tables. And we were creating symbols. And we were given the task to create a new reality. I'm not even sure, create something where we were in the creation mode of creating something new. And so we were really working cutting edge stuff, and we were all working on different parts of these symbols, and the symbols were what was going to bring in the new. And as we were working on it, we heard that there were some people going through the building, and all of a sudden we realized that there were people that were coming and didn't want this work to be done and were going to come and try to stop us. So as this happened, the elevator doors on the floor opened and some of these people started coming out, and we were trying to grab all the papers of our symbol work to take it with us. But the wind was like a wind was coming through and blowing all the papers off the tables and the desks, and people were coming in trying to take all the papers, like these very official looking, almost like security people, and they were trying to usher us out into the basement. And we were all grabbing papers, but we couldn't grab any of, really. I mean, I think we grabbed a couple of the papers, and then they were trying to separate us so that we weren't talking to each other. And so I realized that some force was coming in and didn't want the new reality to come. And so I just had this like moment in my dream where I realized it's not about the external symbols. And so I started yelling to everybody, because there was this big crowd of people, so all people on my team could hear. And I said, the symbols are within us. All we have to do is keep the symbols within us and go to the right places, because it was like the symbols needed to be at different geographical places. And I woke up from that dream, and it was incredible. It was an incredible teaching for me. My big takeaway from that dream was that the symbols are outside, but we can internalize the symbols and they become part of us, and then we become part of the change and the shift. So these dreams were incredible teachers as I was learning in the waking world about how to work with symbols. And so I wanted to share these dreams with you, because one, just to see how rich the dream world can be, and how what an incredible teacher it can be, and also that working with symbols is like, I was going to say magical, and it is like magical, but it's also transformative and can bring so much richness alive, multidimensional, and then we can also integrate it to bring it within us to help be the change that we want to see. So I hope you enjoyed this. I look forward to sharing more both about symbols and how to work with symbols, as well as the dream world and other things that I love. And until then, I will see you later.